Hello again. It's Wednesday morning, and I thought I would turn on the camera while I was doing some crafting. Excuse me, and I have a plan for today. But before that, we're going to take a little mosey into a rabbit hole. Okay, this is a cover for a journal that I had been using for prior Halloween and fall items. Signatures, sorry, and I removed the fall one from here because I'm going to make this all Halloween, and I had neglected to bother to cover this this piece of vinyl, so I did that, as you'll notice, and I used I don't use Mod Podge because of the way it even the flat Mod Podge is can be a little sticky. So Paula Portafora on YouTube suggested Collage Podge. She uses that all the time in place of Mod Podge, and I found a little bottle of it in Walmart, and I tried it, and she is absolutely 100%. It works a treat. So this is the cover, but that's not what I was looking for. And as you can see, I have one of my little handy-dandy trays ready for Halloween. Here are some, of course, Halloween goodies and some leftover fun things. A Halloween folder that I've been hoarding for ages with some things that I think might be pretty, and 3 pieces of paper that I just purchased individually on sale at AC Moore, because I was determined not to invest in a entire Halloween pad, because that's against my something that goes on in my head says, no, don't do that, Carol. Well, let's see. Yes, this was the first time I did Halloween, and that was when I didn't even know that junk journals existed. So I'll be sharing that with you later, and closer to the Halloween fun. This was the next one that I did the next year, and this was last year's, when I was just starting to get the idea about, as you can see, about what junk journaling is. So that's the 3rd signature, and I wanted to do the 4th signature this year, so I removed the signatures that pertained to fall. I removed, but I also made some copies, because this is my original artwork, taken as a finish from this page from a magazine. So I did make a copy of that, and I think I'll probably use that on the cover, or the front or back or whatever. And I'm getting to why I'm getting to the bottom of the back end of the rabbit hole. Ah, this is it. This was attached in here. I pulled it off, and I looked at it, and I said, why, oh why, Carol, have you never done another one? These are wonderful. You don't need to have a clip in there. They can be just clusters that you glue down, or they can be on a clip. Well, and this was my first ever. This was my big, grand experiment. And I love it. I mean, oh, I love it. But I have none for my other junk journaling. Well, having watched Gail, having watched Rachel at Roxy Creations, etc., make these to have on hand, I decided to wake up and smell the roses. So that is the explanation for, whoops, let me put this, I'll put that down first. I'll put down last year, the year before, and the year before, which would be 2016, and my supplies and more supplies and the cover that I'm finally going to work. So, today I'm going to get to cluster or snippet making, whichever the proper word is. Little bitty cuties, I think of them. But that's for the next video. I hope to get that started today. But this morning, I thought, I think I ought to dye some lace bits. So I have gone through my white lace box and come up with these pieces. And there are many of them here. And so I'm going to have some colored laces, I hope. And I'm going to follow Andrea's instructions or Andrea's demo on Artie Maze. If you have never watched Artie Maze, run, don't walk, find ARTYMAZE on YouTube, and you will become addicted. She has the most wonderful group, but I have decided to use her technique because I've watched it enough times that I figured out, let's go. Mess cleaner upper here at hand, both sides, my various colors. This is new. Let's try milled lavender. It might be rather light, so I'll try it on some of my smaller bits and see what happens. Milled lavender it is. Milled lavender is going to be too light. So let's go to seedless preserves. Here we go. There we go. Seedless preserves it is. Oops. All right, Carol. And some water. And in we go. Oh, and Andrea said to wet the piece before it goes in so that it doesn't get splotchy. So, water first, and in it goes. And give it a squeeze to get the color through. Oh my. Thank you, Andrea. So thank you. Whoops, didn't water it first. Did not water it first. And now, in the deep end of the pool. I know that I'm being a one-trick pony, and you've probably seen a gazillion people do this, and you don't need to watch me do it, so please, I don't want to repeat others. So, oh, my. You don't need to listen to me do that either. I have an envelope that I'm going to put some color on. I'm going to use whatever might be left. This is an ordinary white paper envelope, and that can dry. And then this can dry. Now I might want a little a little bit of a real more purple. So I'm going to try Wilted Violet. Definitely a stronger shade. And let's try this one. Let's dampen that up so that it doesn't splotch. And these two didn't splotch, did they? All right, bombs away. And if it's a little bit off, a little bit mottled, I think that adds to the pretty. So that's going to be there. And a piece of this one. Water first, and clean up the last of the purple. Very nice. Okay, cleanup time now. Experimented with purples. I have the peacock feather next. And down it goes. It's a bright and strong color. And let's do this. Let's try this one. Let's have it drink its water. And in it goes. And over it goes. And then Andrea squeezes. Well, isn't that, well, that one needs a little bit more down there. On the dangle. Isn't that one nice? So, how about this little imp that's hiding here? And in here, and in here. And that's kind of mottled, so let's see if I can squeeze it through. That does make a difference. Yes, it does. I do hope that you're having a pleasant Wednesday and have some little bit of time in your busy time for some crafting. Alrighty. It's not as perfectly colored as that, and that's just fine. And let's now have a peacocked up envelope. And that one can stand up there to dry also. I'm going to do Fossilized amber next, because it's a stronger color. Boy, it is, and I just love it. It's happy making. Mix it up. Alrighty. And let's have, what have we got here? Ooh, this is thick. I haven't tried anything as thick as that. Let's get some water in there. And in it goes. And there it goes. Let's see now if we can squeeze some more. In other words, I think all this means is just pinching the colors through. It doesn't seem to make any difference whether they're cottons or polys. Oh my. Oh my. Let's see what else we have here. Let's take a piece of my go-to starched this, and the dampness might take some of the starch out, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. This is not pure white. This is more in the category of a very, very, very light buff color. So it's a bit different, but lovely nonetheless. So we have that one, and this. So I'm certainly late to the party with clusters, but they are about to happen. Sapphire is too blue, so I'm going to do faded jeans. And let me cut some of these further. I think these are cut quite enough. Let me do, well, this is cottony feeling, so let's see what happens. Yes, all right. Sorry, talking to myself. I certainly am. Now, here we go with faded jeans. And let's cut this one again, right through there. Now this is not the same. Oops, I forgot to, soak it. Let's get some water on there. Sorry, Andrea. I'm not a very good listener. Okay. Isn't that a pretty? Isn't that a pretty shade? And it certainly does look like jeans on this, on that lace. I think I'm going to have to have a little bit more of that. And a little bit more. A little bit more here. Okay, we use that one. Oh, let's have one of these. Now, this is hand crocheted, so it's certainly cotton. Certainly cotton. There. And now the squeeze. Let's fold it and give it a good squeeze. There we go. Now, I'm going to take these over and lay them out on some cooking papers so that they can dry. And I'll be getting on with it. This and this and these two. Next is carved pumpkin. And oh, wowzy, that is definitely pumpkin. The season is going to be upon us, so I'm going to really enjoy making some bits out of that. Oh yes, now I think I'll have one of these. In it goes. And let's give it a squeeze. Very pretty. I want one of these, definitely. Let's wet this. And in it goes. Now, I'm thinking that this is poly, but it also might have other things in it, and that's why it tends to come out mottled. Let me see if I can squeeze more color through it. Squeeze. Or it wasn't soaked enough, but it's very pretty. What else is here? I don't want to handle. Oh, I know what I can do. Alrighty. What am I thinking of for this coming season? It's here. Oh my. And another one of those. And one of those. That's the same one. I'm going to use one of these. Right now, this is hand crocheted, so we know it's cotton. It's definitely cotton. And in it goes. And doesn't the natural fiber just take up that inks beautifully? Okay, I think I'd be ready now. All right, now let's see what we have. And this is new. This is Rusty Hinge. Rusty Hinge. What do I want to do? Rusty Hinge. Oh, I'm going to use some of this starched to death lace. Starched to death lace it is. And let's see what color Rusty Hinge is. Oh, it is. It's rusty. It definitely is the color of rust. Isn't that just pretty? I guess by now you're either still with me or you have given up. And I certainly understand it. Now, I think I'm going to take a moment, remove this glove, and take a moment to cut down some of these bits a little bit more. That one. That one, is it going to be a large one? Okay, let me cut this one down. Now, this looks almost like what we used to call, back in the day, we used to call this nylon. And that's probably poly now. Cut that in half. And there. And halves here. Because it did take up the and here. And this one. Maybe. Maybe I'll make two pieces so that I don't lose all of the design. All right, here we are. Smaller bits. Now I'm not going to do black soot, needless to say. I don't think. Maybe I just have to try like a kid with that box of 64 Crayolas. Okay. Now we can see what colors are in there. There's a certain amount of red in there. Nice to know. Alrighty, let's do this one. Isn't this taking up the... Isn't that taking up the color nicely? It's a little mottled, but pretty. A little mottled, but pretty. I know what? Maybe there's enough for that. Oh yes. Oh yes. And because it's not pure white, the color is a little bit different. Alrighty, I can't stand it. A little black soot, here we go. I think I'll try the ones that I think definitely are cotton. Let's try this one. Oh, why didn't I think of this before? Live and learn. Okay, now it's wet. Seriously wet. Halloween, here we come. Oh yes. Oh yes. What else in the cleanup crew? Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Some resist, but Hobby Lobby rides again. Isn't that just pretty? Unexpectedly pretty. I don't know what I thought would happen, but black soot it was. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get out some more paper toweling, and I'm going to carry these over to the drying table. I'll be right back. These are two colors that I've had forever before I actually knew what to do with these things. I mean, I'm talking at least 2 to 3 years ago. And they are colors that I don't have now. So this one is Salty Ocean and this one is Mowed Lawn. So I'm going to give a little try out there. Take care of that later. I will. And let's try this one. This one feels like it has less synthetic in it. Let's see what happens. Oh yes, I can feel the liquid going through. Yes, I can. So, mottled blue. Mowed lawn. Wow. Well, that's no kidding around green. No kidding around green. Oops. The color that loves it. Let's do. This is a color sponge. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Alrighty, now we know. It's a little heavy, but it's certainly green. Now I have other greens that I want to try. I'm going to try this dark one. Annalie from Sweden uses this quite a lot, and in its place it's just lovely. This is called Forest Moss. Forest Moss. And yes, it surely is. Yes, it surely is forest moss. So, how about this one? Right, forest moss down. And over. The fabric dyed beautifully. Lace obviously has some synthetic in it, but nonetheless, that is just beautiful. Crushed olive. Crushed olive is next. This one's going to be crushed olive since that thread on this took up the color of the black so well. Let's see. Here we go, face down. Crushed olive. Goodness. There. Here. Come on. It won't take up color. Yes, it will. There it is. And a little bit there. Yep, a little bit there. Very pretty. Very nice. Peeled paint. Interesting to see the difference in coloration. What will we have? Peeled paint. How about this one? Peeled paint. Let's get the rest of that. Or shall I just let it be a little bit mottled? I'm thinking so. Squeeze. What a pretty shade. Pretty shade. There we go. And old paper. This will be very mild, I should imagine. Quite mild. Let's have this one. going to try doing this on some fabric, because I have some fine white fabric, and because this fabric part is absolutely lovely. Well, now back to the drying table. And righty. Now the pinks. I'm going to start at the top with the Tattered Rose. Let's have a try with this synthetic. Rose is an interesting word to be used for this. I imagine it might be, but I would be inclined to almost call it a flesh tint. It's lovely. Just lovely. Rosy dozy. Okay. What else here? I might also say, call it peach. Peach color. Pale peach. Now this is synthetic and it takes up the color beautifully. Yes, it does. Now, see, I have to say peach. Now, pickled raspberry. Wow. Lock the doors. Let's lock the doors. Yep. And I'm going to rescue these because that's a strong color. Cotton. Cotton. Done. But I want some more. I want another piece or so while I'm doing this. That's a picked raspberry. And let's see, we have that. Let's have this. Let's have that one. right side, so that one will go there. And we have a nice puddle left. Let's do this one. Some of them just absolutely suck up the color and spread it out, and it's perfect. Weird but true. I'm not having much leftovers for the bags, but I did get two. I managed to get 2 bags. And spun sugar. Spun sugar. This one. That one. And spun sugar. Spun sugar. But I want something else in spun sugar. One of these. One of those. Spun sugar there. And my very favorite, Victorian velvet. This one. And yes, I've been saving it because I love it, this piece. So, well, that's going to need some more. And I'm going to use this little I'm going to win. I just am. There. Yay for Carol. Yay for Carol. Now, this is a thick piece, and it's probably cotton. And boy, oh boy, it won't. I can't. Let's see if I can go without. Nope, it needs to go. It needs that littlest bit of water. Now we've got it. Squeeze through. And I can feel a little squish in there, so there is some in there. My. Since it's my favorite. If you have find an urge to fall out of your chairs from sleepy, please get a refreshment, because I'm almost finished, and I was not going to do any naturals today, but I do have these left. Yes, I do. I do have these left. Let's see what's going to happen now. This is really going to be probably quite mottled. That's okay. Come on, straighten out, straighten down, come on. Alrighty. What have we got now? Oh. I think I'm liking it like that. A little helter-skelter. I wish you could tell me what you think, but I think I'm going to leave it. Let's see if I squish. There. Yes. That one is there. And I'm thinking this one, and then I'm going to try a few neutrals and get a little bit of some water. There we go. Let's do this one. Whoops, I didn't soak it. So, don't pay attention to your business, that's what happens. Let's see which one is the front. This one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces for neutrals. Alright, I'm going to put these aside and get out my neutrals, and we'll finish up. Well, I think I'm going to try my my faves. So I'll have a little walnut stain on the on one. It is such a warm, rich color. Let's have walnut stain here. Squeeze that liquid around, and it does do its walnut stain. So that's one. Of course, tea stain, or tea dye. And when you see it like this, you realize how very true to tea color that is. But it's not going to be enough, I know that. Okay, now one of these. In we go. Over we go. Oh, takes the labor out. Alrighty, and one of these. And there. Okay, face down. Sponge. Sponge is the only word for this. Sponge is the only word. And different fibers, so different reactions. And of course, vintage photo. Down it goes. And now let's squeeze the color through. I'm going to have to do some more, Carol, so don't be... Oops. Now let's get the right side here. Do we have anything missing? No, the water has leached around. Very nice. So, okay, the great sponge coming. Strikes again. Well, I'm going to clean up and get some of these out so that we can look at them. And I have taken a liberty being such a one-trick pony today, but I thought you might want to, some of you newbies might want to see. And again, thanks to Andrea, Artie Mays on YouTube for this wonderfulness. I'll be back in a moment.